everyone, it's Autumn. Today I wanted to do a video on glycolic acid products. In the past on Fridays, just a couple of Fridays, I haven't done it a whole lot, I started a new series called the Friday 5 or 5 Friday. I wasn't quite sure on the name then. But then now I have more than 5 products that I want to talk about because I just kind of want to do an overview. So I think the Friday videos, I'm renaming them, like it really matters to you guys, but I'm renaming them to be called the Friday Focus. And so that way I can focus on a brand or a specific genre of some sort. And that way I'm not limited to a specific number. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the video. Alright, so before I jump into the specific products, I want to talk about glycolic acid. Glycolic acid is an alpha-hydroxy acid, and it's actually the smallest molecule of alpha-hydroxy acids. There are several different kinds, and most of them come from like fruits, or lactic acid is also one, and glycolic acid actually comes from sugarcane. So since it is the smallest molecule, it's actually able to go a little bit further into the skin to do its job, as opposed to the larger molecule ones that kind of work on the surface. So that's why these, I think, have kind of taken a forefront recently. A lot of people are talking about glycolic acid, and I think that's why it's such a big deal, is because you feel like it's doing more. So with that being said, I think that it's important for people to know kind of when to use them as well, and also when not to use them, and if they're going to work for you, or what you should look out for. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm no expert in all of this, but from what I have read, glycolic acid pretty much helps to take away and slough off the dead skin on the surface, and then it reveals newer, brighter skin underneath. And your body kind of naturally does that when you're younger at a lot quicker rate. By the time you turn 25, that rate slows down, and that's probably when it's most important for you to start using glycolic acid products, because they work on fine lines, and that's when people start to kind of see fine lines, is around the age of 25 on their face. Glycolic acid will help with fine lines. However, they do not help with deep wrinkles. So it's important to start doing this before you get deep wrinkles. That way it kind of helps prevent those from happening, if that makes sense. So for the prevention of, I guess, wrinkles, I would say your 20s to 30s are probably the most important time to be using glycolic acid. After that, glycolic acid is still great to kind of help reveal like brighter looking skin and to help with dullness, but it's not really going to help a whole lot with preventing the age. I mean, I guess it'll help with the fine lines that you have at that point, but it's not going to help with any deep wrinkles or anything like that, like I mentioned. It's also great for people who have like clogged pores or any sort of dullness or even acne. Glycolic acid's really great for, again, getting rid of that top layer of skin and any like clogging things. If you have dry skin like I do, glycolic acid is slightly drying, so you want to make sure that you follow up with a really good moisturizer, and you also want to make sure that, since it is taking off that top layer of skin, you want to make sure that you use sunscreen after using it, like during the day, because it does make your skin more sensitive to the sun. So glycolic acid can come in many different forms, whether it be from cleansers, moisturizers, and things like that, and I'll kind of talk about a little of them each as I'm showing the products, so you can determine which kind is best for you. But it just really depends. They also come in different potencies as well. Some are more potent. Usually at-home glycolic acid treatments and products start anywhere from 2% to, I would say, well, you can get up to in the 20s. The peels that you get done at an actual spa are usually 30% and above. So I think the highest percentage product that I have here, I believe is 18%. Everything else is below that. But if you're just starting out with glycolic acid, 2% is great to start out with, anywhere from 2 to 5%. And also, just to let you know, glycolic acid is one of those things that, as you use it over time, you can get a really strong peel done all at once, but if you use it over time, it's one of those products that works better and better and better if you continue to use it. So those smaller percentages, it's not like they're less effective than the others. They're just great if you want to use it every day, and then you can go up to a higher percentage if you feel like you're not getting the effects that you used to get. Alright, so I'm going to start out with cleansers, and the first one I want to show you is one that was sent to me, and this is by the company Neostrada, and this is their Foaming Glycolic Wash. And it says right here 20 bionic AHA, which at first I thought was 20% glycolic acid, but the more I looked into the product, I looked online and it said 18% somewhere. So I'm not 100% sure, but this is 18 to 20% glycolic acid. So you get it, and it comes in a pump form. I'll pump some of it out onto the back of my hand. And it's a foam, obviously, because it's a foaming glycolic wash. And I noticed from this, when I used it, when it first comes out, it's got the strong smell of alcohol. This does contain alcohol. So on top of it already kind of being drying because it's got glycolic acid in it, it also has alcohol in it, which can be drying to a lot of people. I continued to use it, although it does have alcohol. Generally, I try to stray away, but I really did want to give this a good test. I felt the tingling straight away on my face. A lot of times I use a glycolic product and I don't really feel any tingling, but this is so high in glycolic acid that I really did feel the tingling. You can rinse it right off, or you can let it set, which I let it sit for a little bit on my face so I could get the full effect, and then I rinsed it off. I let the foam kind of go away, like while I brushed my teeth and did that stuff, and then I followed up with the rest of my skincare routine. I will say though, I tried to use this to remove makeup off my face, and I didn't really feel the effects of the glycolic acid. This is definitely, I would say, a treatment cleanse or a second cleanse. It's not something to remove all your makeup and all that stuff off your face. You're going to want to go through with like makeup remover or maybe like a cleansing oil first, and then come in with this to kind of help get rid of the dead skin and just to kind of do the treatment. So even though it's a wash, it's not really for cleansing makeup and wash off your face. If you don't wear makeup, I'm sure you would be perfectly fine. But I had makeup on my face and I found that it didn't remove eye makeup, which I did try that, although you're not supposed to put glycolic acid near your eyes. But I did try that. It didn't remove the makeup at all. So I think that this is just more of a treatment wash. It really does help enhance clarity and texture. I felt like my skin just felt really smooth after using this. But again, it was drying and I had to follow up with some good serums and some good skincare. I've done an entire video on alcohol. If I can find it, I will link it below for you, talking about the pros and cons of using alcohol in skincare. But just a quick overview, if you use alcohol in skincare, it does kind of break down that top barrier of skin, and then in a lot of cases it helps the product, which in this case would be the glycolic acid, really get in there and do its job. However, if you're going to break through that barrier, you're going to need something really good, like kind of worth it, in my opinion. You need something worth it. If you're going to break down the barrier, you need the product to kind of, the good of the product to outweigh the fact that you just used alcohol on your skin. So I did that. The glycolic acid seemed very effective. I had that tingling sensation on the skin, and I feel like after I followed up with my serums and my moisturizers and all my other things, that it was worth it. This isn't a cleanser that I would use every day just because it is so high in glycolic acid, and I don't feel like I need that all the time. But if I feel like my skin texture is getting a little bit rough, or I just really feel like I need to brighten my skin, I think I will hold on to this and reach for it in those moments. I also think that this would be good actually before putting on a mask. If you want to go through with your glycolic acid, you break all that stuff away, get rid of the dead skin, and then you get a really good serum or mask to put on your face, like a sheet mask or something like that, that has really great ingredients in it. I really feel like you would get a lot of benefit out of doing that. So I will hold on to this for those reasons, but it's definitely not an everyday wash for me. So the next wash I want to talk about was also sent to me. And this is the Neutratone Glycolic Facial Cleanser with Exfoliating Bamboo Scrub. It's got vitamin C, glycolic acid, and aloe vera in it. I looked everywhere online. They sent the cleanser to me just pretty much in a bag with no information. I didn't even get a box. So I can't even tell you what the ingredients are. Let's see. So it's kind of a mystery in that sense, like I can't tell you any of that. But what I can tell you is the bamboo in there is very, you can't even see it. It's a very small amount of bamboo. And also when you feel it on the skin, it's not something that I would consider a scrub. It says with exfoliating bamboo scrub, but it's not something that I would consider itself to be a scrub. It's got a little bit in there. I don't know how effective the bamboo is. I think that this cleanser would be fine without it, just because I don't really feel like I get that scrubbing sensation because it is really thin. Also, since the bamboo is so small, when I go to rinse off the cleanser, I find that those little particles of bamboo do get in my eyes. So you kind of want to be careful of that. Make sure your eyes are closed tight as you're rinsing it off. Since it is a scrub, again, I don't recommend taking off makeup with it. I feel like a scrub, again, is a treatment cleanser, and you can't really use a scrub around the eyes to remove makeup anyway. So this is definitely another one that I would say that you could use just as a secondary cleanser on your face. They didn't list the percentage of glycolic acid in this. I left it on my face at one point for, I would say, 5 minutes just to see if I felt a tingle. I didn't really feel much of a tingle, except for, you could probably see right here, I have a little spot where I had a breakout. And the skin started to flake away and all that stuff after. And on the breakout, I felt the tiny tingle. So this is a very low percentage of glycolic acid. If I had to guess, it's under 5%. So this would be a really good one every day if you want to wash your face and use a glycolic acid sort of product that you don't keep on your face, that you rinse off. I think this would be good. Or this is also a really good morning cleanser with a small amount of scrub that you have in it. I think it would be really great in the morning if you just really want something to go through, cleanse the face, scrub a little bit, you know, kind of get the sleep off your face, and then go on with your day. This is not drying at all, I find, other than the glycolic acid portion, but it's not drying compared to this cleanser. So I think that using this in the morning and then just putting your everyday skin products over it would be fine. The smell of it is slightly fruity, and I'm guessing maybe the source of vitamin C, which I can't tell you because I do not have the ingredients. And the thing is, they want me to do a review on their product, and they didn't send me an ingredients list. But it does have a slightly fruity scent. So I'm guessing that's maybe the vitamin C, whatever ingredient they have in there for the vitamin C. But it is really nice, and I think it would be really great for the morning. On the back, though, it does say paraben-free and cruelty-free. So even though I do not have an ingredient list on this, that's something to note. And also, like I mentioned before, where I thought that this had a very low glycolic acid in it, it does say repeat twice daily, which leads me to believe, yes, it is very low. This is an everyday sort of product. So there you have it. The next product was not sent to me. This is by Nip Fab Skin, and this is their Glycolic Cleansing Fix, and this has glycolic acid, and it also has olive oil in it. I did use this to remove makeup, and it did a fine job. You're not really supposed to use glycolic acid around the eyes because the eye area is a more delicate area of the face, but what I will say, it removed my makeup fine. It has a very nice scent, which again is fruity. It has a very, I don't know, it's a very pleasing fruity scent that's not overpowering. So again, I think it would be a very good morning cleanser. This only has, I believe, 2%, if I wrote it down. Yeah, this has 2% glycolic acid. And did I tell you what the other two retailed for? I was meant to tell you. This one right here by Neostrada, this retails for $40, which, granted, it's kind of expensive for a wash, but since this is something I'm not going to be using every day, and it does have a really high amount of the Alpha-Hydroxy acid in it, I think that that is a good price tag for this. This one right here retails for the Neutratone right here retails for $36, and it's an everyday scrub. You get 5 ounces, so I think that it's a little high, but again, I don't know the ingredients, so I can't really speak to the price on that. And then this one right here, which is the Nip Fab, it retails for around $8 depending on where you get it. You can get it at Ulta. I picked mine up at CVS, and they had a deal going, and I have another Nip Fab product I'll talk about in a minute. So they had a deal going, buy one get one 50% off, so you can always catch deals on it. So this one, since it's a very low percentage, I think this would be perfect for somebody starting off. And with a glycolic sort of product, I think this would be great for teenagers who maybe have a little bit of a problem with acne. I don't know, I just think that this is a really good product. It's also great with the Clarisonic. And you can tell I've used this probably for about a week and I've gone to there. So you really do get a lot for your money here because you don't need a ton of it. It's great with the Clarisonic because you can just go in, do the scrubbing action because it's gentle enough. But you've also got a little bit of the glycolic acid and you're seeing those benefits as well. So I think that this is a really great drugstore option for a cleanser. I'm only going to speak to this one for just a minute because I've done an entire video on it. But this is the Exuviance Triple MicrodermAbrasion Face Polish. This retails for, I believe, $72. It's kind of up there in price, but again, it's available at Ulta, so maybe you could use your points towards purchasing it or something like that. But I really love this one because it is a scrub, and it's an actual scrub, and it has like a lot more scrubbing in it than this does, and but it's obviously not a cleanser. And it also contains, it's got the professional grade crystals, glycolic acid, and papaya enzyme. So it's like a triple, like it says. It uses 3 different ways of exfoliating the skin. So I really feel that when I use this, I really feel it working, and I do feel the tingle here. I believe that this is 10%, yeah, 10% glycolic acid in here, to where you're getting up there a little bit, but still, if you are looking for a treatment to use every now and then, you're not really going to see a lot of like the flaking or anything like that. You're just really going to get a nice polished surface of your face. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it. I will link my review of this down below. So I have another Nip Fab product to show you. They have, I think, one that's also a higher percentage than this one. I think it's their night one. But this is the Glycolic Fix Exfoliating Facial Pads. You get 60 pads in here. This retails for, I've seen it anywhere from $12 to $16 depending on where you get it. But inside you get these little pads that are already soaked with the product. They're quite moist, and they just have, I don't want to say like they have a sterile sort of smell to them. There's like no sort of fragrance or anything fancy. It's just a pad with a solution that you wipe all over your face. These do also contain alcohol, but the alcohol is midway to bottom on the list of ingredients. The top ingredient is water, glycerin, glycolic acid, polysorbate 20, then you get dimethicone, witch hazel. So you get quite a bit of things before the alcohol, but that's also something to keep in mind. This does contain alcohol. Since it is kind of a treatment though, you're going to want to follow it up with your serum right after. So that's also something to keep into consideration. But I think though, if you, again, since it's a low percentage, this, did I say what it was? It's 2.8%. It's still on the low range where you're getting the benefits. But I will say that the little pads, they're not soft. They almost have like a little bit of texture to them that really helps to also work in the product. And I think that if you're looking for a quick, convenient way to put glycolic acid into your day, that this would be really good to try out. Next one is also sort of like a tonic or toning sort of product. And this is the Pixi Skin Treats Glow Tonic. And this is 5% glycolic acid. So it's, you know, obviously higher than this. This retails for around $15, and you get, what is this? Is this like 3.4 fluid ounces? I picked this up at Target. You can get a bigger bottle for $30, I think, on their website, but this is the size that they sell at Target. This has a very pleasant, sort of almost floral scent to it. It has aloe vera and ginseng in it. It's just really nice. It feels really good on the skin. I think this does a great job. I wasn't quite sure if this was worth the hype. It got a ton of hype over in the UK before it became available to us, but I really do feel like it is. I feel like it's a bargain. I feel like it's great for everyday use. And I like that it does not contain alcohol. A lot of these options with the glycolic acid contain alcohol. So if you're looking for something that is alcohol free, this is a really great option, and you still get a pretty decent amount of the glycolic acid. The last product I want to talk about is from Walgreens, and this is the Studio 35 Beauty Alpha-Hydroxy Face Cream. You get 7.8% AHA of a 70% solution in here. So a lot of the times a product will just say Alpha-Hydroxy acid, and glycolic acid falls into alpha-hydroxy acid. It's under that umbrella. So you kind of want to see when a product says that what glycolic or what acid they are using, and calling it an alpha-hydroxy acid depending. So if you were wanting something more gentle that's not going to go as deep, by all means get get something with lactic acid, something like that. Again, this goes a little bit deeper, so you're going to want to read the ingredients. And the third ingredient in says glycolic acid. What I really like about the fact that this comes in a cream is that it is a cream. If you have dry skin, this is a really great way to get your glycolic acid, since it is somewhat drying anyway. You also get the benefits of the glycolic acid, but it's not drying out your skin. So in my opinion, this is a little bit more gentle. I also think though the alcohol does kind of help to break down the skin surface to get a little bit deeper. So I'm not an expert on this, but I don't know how much, if this is as effective, but since it is a cream, you can use it every day. I find it to be really gentle. This is my second or third tub of this. I go through it quite a bit, and it retails, I went online to see what it retailed for, but it says price varies by location. But I can say that I get mine for under $10 at Walgreens. But I looked on eBay, and people have purchased these and they're selling them on eBay for $25. You get 4 ounces of product, so this is a really great deal. And also what I really like about this is the fact that it sits on the skin longer. So when you have the cleansers, you get the benefit of it and you feel the tingle, and then you rinse it off. But with this, you put it on your face and it just stays there. I like to use this at night. I find that I do get the tingle with the 7.8%. So if you're just starting out or you're wanting to use it as a night treatment, I think this is great. And I still do follow up after I put this on with my actual moisturizer and all of that stuff. So that's also something to kind of note, that even though that this is in a cream form, if you have drier skin, you're still going to want to follow up with a moisturizer, in which I do, and it's fine. So if you're an adult on a budget, I highly suggest using the Pixi. I feel like you get the spa feel. It has a very nice smell. It's easy to use. You just swipe it over your face. It's one of those things you can use every day, and it's kind of it really is a treat. Hence the name Skin Treats. But it really is just a really nice everyday treat. I totally get the hype around this. Also, if you're on a budget and you're wanting something with a little bit more and you're wanting it to sit on your skin, I definitely suggest the Studio 35 Beauty from Walgreens. This is just a really great cream. A lot of people on YouTube have talked about it, and it used to be 8% AHA, and they've cut it down to 7.8%, which is a minute amount. I'm not quite sure why they did that. I don't really notice a difference though. Maybe they just had to change the packaging and they were just rounding up to 8% before, and now they have to be more specific, because to me it seems like the exact same product that it was before. But I will say this is great on a budget. You can always find a deal at Walgreens on it, and this does last a long time. So if you're wanting those effects and you don't have a ton of money, this is really the way to go. The only one that did not wow me, but I still feel like is a good product, is the Neutratone. And it didn't wow me because I feel like it doesn't, it's one of those that tries to include a little bit of everything. So it's like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. So when it comes to the percentage of glycolic acid, I only felt a little bit of a tingle in the places on my face that I kind of had compromised skin, I would say. So I know the glycolic acid is in there, but it wasn't a high enough percentage, I don't think, for a treatment. For an everyday wash, I think it's great. But in the scrub department, it's got little scrubbies in it, but I don't feel like it had enough scrubbies in it to constitute being called a scrub. I would have just called this an exfoliating face wash, which it does say glycolic facial cleanser with exfoliating bamboo scrubs. So it kind of already says that. It does have some really great other ingredients such as vitamin C and aloe vera in it that are listed here, but again, I can't tell you what the rest of the ingredients are because I don't have that information. I even looked online and I couldn't find that information. So that was kind of a little bit disappointing to me. If I do happen to find that information, I will leave a note here, and also I will put in the description box what the ingredients are and my final thoughts on this product, but I just don't know enough about it to be able to say if it is worth the $36 price tag. And that's my only issue with it, is it costs $36, and I feel like for an extra $4, even though this contains alcohol, I feel like you are just getting so much more for your money with this one. If you have sensitive skin, this may be a better option for you though. So, I mean, it does have its pros, and I think this would be best as a morning cleanser for somebody who wants a little bit of glycolic acid and they also have sensitive skin. So, those are my thoughts on these glycolic acid products. If there's another category you want me to talk about, leave that in the comments below and I will get those things together and I will talk about them with you. If you like this series, also let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.